ब्रिटिश मिलिट्री के रिटायर्ड मेजर जनरल शेमस कर सीबी अब द पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी के उनको नया चेयर मुंतखब किया गया। पहली बार हो रहा है कि बरतानवी आर्मी का एक रिटायर्ड मेजर जनरल अब पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी को हेड करेंगे। व्हाट आर योर प्लान्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स during your tenure as society's chair?
I would like to focus on trying to raise the necessary funds for Pakistanis both in the UK and Pakistan who are poor and disadvantaged to provide degrees through the Open University.
Please tell us about your association with Pakistan and especially the fact that you have spent over a year in Staff College, Quetta with Pakistan military, especially the relationship that you still maintain with Pakistan.
That my godfather went to the Staff College in 1936. I met as a young boy Field Marshal Montgomery, and he also went to the Staff College. And he meant, I don't know why, but we ended up discussing Pakistan briefly, and I think that fired something in my imagination that I wanted to go. So that's how, and then when we are, as a young major, you get the opportunity, the top 10% get the opportunity to go to Staff College. I put Pakistan down as my #1 choice and was delighted to be selected to go out there with our family. And it was just a magical year. We were, from the moment we arrived, we were made so welcome. The security constraints were not there that we have now, so we travelled all over Pakistan. Lahore, right at the Karakoram highway to Gilgit and Hunza, Abbottabad, Karachi, clearly going up to Quetta as well, going to the Afghan border, and it's just a beautiful country, and we were made so welcome everywhere we went.
So during your stay in Pakistan, what was it that you enjoyed the most special memories that you have of Pakistan?
I think it's the friends that we made at the Staff College. I played a lot of squash, I ran a lot, we played tennis. I remember my wife and I were the Baluchistan mixed doubles tennis champions. Doesn't mean I'm any good at tennis, it's just that it was a wonderful opportunity. I think the most special time of looking at the country was to go up the Karakoram highway and go to the Swat Valley, the Khyber Pass, and finally Gilgit and Hunza and the Chinese border. And the country with the Himalayas on your right was just so beautiful. Everywhere we stopped for a night, we were made so welcome and looked after. And I think it's just, I'm just so sorry that the rest of the world can't see that.
Do you think your stay in Pakistan bring any changes into your character, your personality, especially in terms of your professional progress?
It made me realize just how fortunate I am. And we are in this country, and that we take it for granted. So we take the basics for granted. In Quetta at that time, on occasions, you had water shortages, you had electricity shortages, which we just take for granted in this country. And it just showed that actually it's not important. Ultimately, it's all about people. I also took away, I think, the strength of family in Pakistan, and how the families really stick together and help each other. And yes, we do that here, but we've lost some of that as well. So I think, as I look to Pakistan, I think that's something we can take from Pakistan. Clearly, every country has issues, but I think it's by working together that you help solve those issues. So we had probably 20 overseas officers, and we would work with our Pakistani officers as well. And you share your experiences and you learn from each other, because one tends to look through the lens of your country, of where you grew up, but to learn that we aren't necessarily always right.
Tell us something about Pakistani culture, cuisine, clothes, and every aspect of Pakistani culture that you experienced.
What I loved about it was the diversity and how each of the provinces are so different. Yeah. So from the traditional Pakistani dress, but again, it's different in each province, whether you're in Sindh province, whether you're in Lahore, whether you go up to, in Baluchistan and you're in Quetta, or go up into the mountains. I think then that the dress is so colourful and the artwork is so colourful, and then that the food, it just represents all the cultures there. So you've got, there's the Persian influence, there's the Asian influence, there's some Indian influence, going back prior to partition, and all mixed together. I think it just gives just a very special feeling, and it's very welcoming at the same time.
What are your thoughts about the contribution British Pakistanis make in this country, in Britain?
I don't think it's fully recognised. We need to do far more to make sure that we all pull together and then recognise the contribution that the British Pakistanis are making to the economy, to education, and you look in our schools now, and the British Pakistanis are doing really well.
What improvements do you recommend for strengthening Pakistan's ties with the UK and vice versa?
Sport plays a big important part in that. I think there should be closer business ties. I have recently seen the British student who is in Quetta, and I know he's spoken to the commandant and said, come over. So it's actually making some visits to Pakistan as well as making visits in the country here. Now, we're all very busy, but it's making time to do that and plan that. So, for example, we're already planning our dinner for 2 years' time, which is our 75th anniversary. We're keen to invite the King, also the President of Pakistan and the Aga Khan, and then actually bring people from across the United Kingdom to come to that dinner and celebrate the 75 years. And I think it's by bringing people together that you share ideas and decide how can we improve the situation in both countries.